Top of the morning, oldster.
Hey, I saw you on TV last night.
There I am, Gary, there I am.
Yep. See you later, Bran Flakes. What a nice cereal box.
New Japan Pro Wrestling's Battle in the Valley 2024 is one of the greatest wrestling experiences I've ever had, with possibly the closest seat I've ever had to a wrestling ring at any show, an awesome card to hype me up for the evening, and not to mention how my lovely fiance had the time of her life when she finally got to see Eddie Kingston live in person. But the two matches I was really excited about were Jon Moxley versus Shingo Takagi and Kazuchika Okada versus Will Ospreay. Two matches in which I would never imagine I would get to see in person. First, let's talk about everybody's favorite match of the night. For starters, Shingo in the jeans is a hard ass look. Now why has he got jeans on? Well, this is a no DQ street fight between the Death Rider and the Dragon. No rules, no limits, no fucks given. The bell rings and it's all aggression. We start off with a strike exchange that leads to the outside. Shingo pulls out two kendo sticks and passes one to Moxley, before the two of them sword fight with them. Shingo loses a stick and Mox starts jamming him with his kendo stick, sticking it in his neck and mouth. Mox quickly grabs the trash can lid and smashes it over Shingo's head. They get back in the ring and Shingo blasts Mox with a lariat. Just when Shingo gets the upper hand and out-wrestles Moxley, Mox grabs the same garbage lid and smashes it over Shingo's head with it again, causing Shingo to be the first to shed blood, which is a shocker considering this is a Jon Moxley death match. Mox takes control and starts working the open wound of Takagi. He pulls out a comically short trash can over his head and starts beating him with a kendo stick. Because of this, the kendo stick itself is starting to break, and Mox fully breaks it and starts jamming Shingo's open wound with the bits of the broken stick, jabbing his eye and mouth with the sharp ends, all while the crowd is chanting "you sick fuck" at him. Moxley keeps beating Shingo down, but the Dragon isn't going down that easily. Shingo gets a comeback in and knocks Mox down with another lariat. It's not enough to keep Mox down, as he bites the forehead of Shingo and knocks him to the outside. Mox goes for a dive, but Shingo smashes his head with the garbage can lid from earlier in the match. Shingo cracks him again, and Mox gets blood all over the camera. Shingo brings Moxley back in and hits a nasty superplex on the canvas. Shingo goes in for the sliding lariat, but Mox sits right back up. The visual of a bloody Moxley and bloody Shingo trading headbutts, lariats, suplexes, and other strikes. I'm sorry, but this is the littest shit ever. Both men managed to get up just for the adrenaline to wear off, and they tumbled to the floor. Back in the ring, and similar to the kendo stick fight, now we got a chair battle. This time, it's Mox who loses the chair, and Shingo pinches his fingers in the chair. After enough chanting, Shingo gives the crowd what they want and pulls out a table from under the ring. He goes to drive Moxley through it, but Mox slips out and starts choking Takagi with the chain, similar to how he got choked out by Hangman Page last year in their match, which surprisingly I was also there for. With Shingo choked out and laid out on the table, Mox dives off the top rope with an elbow drop through the table. Surely, this one has got to be over. 1, 2, Shingo kicks out. With Jon Moxley frustrated, the only solution is to simply get another table and put him through it again. Mox sets it up and the sicko licks the table. Mox lifts Shingo, but he fights out of it and sprays Mox with the green mist. With Mox blinded, Shingo picks up Moxley and hits him with the Stay Dream right through the table. But Moxley is still standing, still breathing, still fighting. Shingo cracks Jon with the bits of the broken table and hits a pumping bomber. 1, 2, but Moxley kicks out. Shingo hits the Made in Japan on the chair. 1, 2, Moxley kicks out again, with both men almost out of energy, trading strikes. Mox barely hits an ace cutter and a curb stomp to follow up. He picks him up and hits a Death Rider. 1, 2, but Shingo kicks out, and the crowd gives a standing ovation. With Mox getting desperate, he picks up Shingo one last time and drives him through the chair with another Death Rider. This final desperation attempt seals the deal as Moxley wins in a bloody, violent, awesome match. I'm a big fan of this match because I'm a sucker for simple but fun storytelling. Pretty much anything that's easy to tell, easy to follow up, so it could potentially bring in newer viewers. Much like the Moxley and Wheeler Yuta match from 2022. I get that we're in an era where a lot of wrestling fans prefer bigger storytelling, but sometimes I just want to watch two tough bastards knock 7 shades of shit out of each other for 26 minutes. This is probably the match I would recommend most out of anything from Battle in the Valley. It's such a wild ride, and I might be a bit biased, but honestly, I don't really care. I want to give this match an S tier ranking. But for as exciting and an awesome match as this was, I knew the main event was going to be something special. The bell rings and it's classic Okada and Ospreay, beginning with the feeling out process. Up until Okada pats Ospreay on the chest in the ropes. No matter how much Ospreay has changed and grown into a man over the years, Okada is still going to treat him like a little brother. But Ospreay counters back with a Rana and goes for the tope, but Okada moves and plants him with a DDT on the floor. Okada continues to work the neck, but he tries to go for another DDT. Ospreay counters this with a suplex. Ospreay strings together some moves. He hits a handspring kick, he hits the tope this time, and he hits a phenomenal forearm. But he gets too greedy, and Okada gets back to work in the neck of Ospreay. Okada locks on the money clip, but Ospreay is quickly to break out of it. These two know each other so well. After such an amazing exchange, Okada hits a drop kick, but it's not enough to keep Ospreay down. Ospreay hits 2 hook kicks and hits an Oz cutter, but this is an old move for Ospreay. It's not enough to keep Okada down. What can help though is Ospreay hitting his newest move, the Leap of Fate. He goes for it, but Okada rolls out and hits another drop kick. And just for good measure, Okada goes back to working Ospreay's neck by hitting a brutal tombstone piledriver on the floor. Okada rolls Ospreay back into the ring, and it's time for the Rainmaker. Ospreay tries fighting out of it, and he goes for another Oz cutter. He gets captured and hits a beautiful Spanish fly. 1, 2, but Okada kicks out. Out of nowhere, Okada hits a Michinoku driver and picks Will up for the Rainmaker again. But Ospreay counters out of it and lifts Okada up and hits a Styles Clash, calling back to one of Okada's foes, AJ Styles. 1, 2, but Okada kicks out of it. With Okada on the ropes, Ospreay points the gun at him. Ospreay calling on the ghosts of Okada's past by calling Kenny Omega's moveset, but Okada's been here before. He hits another drop kick, Okada goes for the Rainmaker, but then Ospreay goes for the Rainmaker, but Okada ducks and picks him up and hits Ospreay's own Stormbreaker. 1, 2, but Ospreay kicks out. He picks Ospreay up again, he finally hits the Rainmaker. Surely this is it. 1, 2, Ospreay kicks out of it, and I think Okada's face says it all. Okada's so upset right now that he throws up the middle finger at the crowd. Sorry to spoil things, but this alone just gives this match an S tier ranking. Okada tries to hit another dropkick, but Ospreay catches it into a powerbomb. Ospreay hits a flying hitting blade to Okada's face, then calls for the Rainmaker. Ospreay picks Okada up and hits a vicious Rainmaker on him. 1, 2, but Okada kicks out. It's not enough to keep Okada down, but there's another move Ospreay has to hit to keep Okada down for sure. Ospreay lifts Okada up and hits the Stormbreaker. 1, 2, but Okada kicks out of it. There's one move left in Ospreay's arsenal that he knows can keep Okada down. He tries to go for the hidden blade, but Okada springs up and hits a dropkick, hits a spinning flosion, hits the heavy rain, and hits one last Rainmaker. 1, 2, 3. It's a pretty touching scene here, considering both men will be leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. Perhaps two of the best wrestlers in the company they've spent years in just had most likely their final match together. As the crowd clap in appreciation, Okada and Ospreay share an emotional hug. Ospreay shares a passionate and thankful promo. As the show closes, Ospreay went around the ringside to high-five the crowd, in which I got to be part of that moment as well. And now we've come full circle to the start of the video. Legit, one of my favorite moments I've ever experienced as a wrestling fan. Being on TV, giving one of my favorite wrestlers a high five. It's simple, but I'm gonna remember it forever. This match earns an S tier ranking. New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle in the Valley 2024 is a legendary night for me as a wrestling fan. I know I don't do these videos very often, but whenever I do, It's because I want to put in my best effort into them to try and get my audience to not only be entertained by the video, but hopefully maybe give this silly wrestling thing I like a little chance. And trust me when I say it, it's worth it. And of course, if you're not interested, then I don't know, go play Fortnite or some shit. I heard they got Peter Griffin in there now. With the gritty, I guess.
Okay, Joe, right foot green.
Anyway, gamers, thank you for your time.
Let there be rain, and there was rain. Let there be rain, and there was rain. On me every